Hello, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Cam Legend, and in this video I'm going to be speaking about 7 tips to getting work done faster. So productivity is something I value because I realize that I'm against time every day. If you've watched Jack Bauer 24, he's always on a mission. That's how I see my days. That's how I see my weeks. And time is an illusion. However, we are in this physical plane, and there's just some things that have to be done. In order to quantum jump your evolution, the only way to do that is to find hacks within the matrix. And these can be mathematically formulated. However, there needs to be structure. There needs to be flexibility also. So let me give some tips how to work with time and not let time work against you. It's vital to know that you need to work smarter and not harder, because your life force, your energy will deteriorate over time, which will then lead to burning out. So let me give some tips. The first thing I do is I make sure I'm up very early or I'm working very late. It's best to wake up very early, around 4, 5, 6. And the reason I do this is for multiple reasons. I'm either awake at this time and I haven't slept yet, or I've woken up. The first reason I like to be awake at this time is because the family is asleep. My son is very energetic, and I have family commitments also throughout the day. So it's just best for me to wake up at a time where I have some alone time for myself to think clearly and do what needs to be done. And then as the day goes out, I can structure my time accordingly so everybody gets their fair share of attention. Another reason I like to be up at this time, which I've mentioned in other videos, is because of the auspicious nature to 4, 5 a.m. and 3 a.m. also. I feel like my brain waves are in different states of consciousness. I feel very focused at this time, and I tap in with whatever needs to be done. Another thing I do at this time is I put my phone on airplane mode, and I leave my phone on airplane mode until the task is done. So my phone is simply just an alarm clock until I finish what needs to be done in the morning. Then I get back to emails and things of this nature. To-do lists, prioritizing your task. I have multiple to-do lists for different things that I'm doing. So I have a to-do list on my iPhone. I have a to-do list on Notion, which is an application that companies use, that are used for projects and things of this nature. I've already done a video on Notion, a mini video on Notion. It's a very multifaceted application that can be used for anything, really. So I have a to-do list, one for YouTube videos. I have another to-do list for general things, and I have a to-do list for things that I'm seeing out for the year. And then I also use a focus matrix, which I also mentioned on my productivity mini-series, which I can schedule my to-do list based on what is important. So this is another hack, is sometimes it's best to do the hardest thing first, which requires enough energy. And then as the day fizzes out, I do the remedial tasks that are not going to take a lot of energy, because you have to realize that multitasking takes away your clarity and focus. And this is when we start moving into beta waves And personally, I do multitask just because of the nature of my business. But when I'm in a state of multitasking for too many hours, I start to lose focus and I start to make mistakes, which means it's best to just focus on one thing. So this is the kind of hurdles you're going to go through, which is going to be just trial and error to know what system works best for you. And personally, multitasking, I can do, but I don't do this over a period of time. And also, when you do one task and move to another task, let's say I'm editing a video and then I move on to producing a beat, you're using different faculties of your mind and you lose energy throughout the day. So you're never going to have the equal amount of energy for each task. I think they say you lose about 10% of energy for every task you move on to. So it's not like you have this free 0-point energy all throughout the day. You just don't. Your energy diminishes as the day goes on. And this is why it's vital to make sure you eat at the right time and know when it's the best time to abstain from eating throughout the day. Because me personally, I can't eat heavy in the morning, so I skip out food altogether and I have my tea and then I break my fast in the afternoon and I make sure that I don't eat something dense because then I'll tire out throughout the day. So this is where this is when the science comes into it. You need to know how your body works through intuition and maybe having a journal out to see how your energy works and flows throughout the day, to not crash, because a crash can be a tragedy and it's hard to get out of slumps. So just be mindful of your energy and understand how your body works. Number 4, taking away all distraction items. So I've already touched on this a little bit, but I'll go more into depth. Your phone is the biggest distraction. These social media platforms study psychology heavy. Just the sound of a notification bell can make you pick up your phone subconsciously without thought. And there's something about a notification that makes you attached to social media. And this is when the habitual loops start to take control of your life autonomously. So the best thing to do is put your phone on airplane mode, because you'll see that spending 25 minutes or 45 minutes of application to a task can be way more beneficial than going on your phone, turning it back on, going on your phone, messaging, going back and forth. All this does is create disharmony within your mind. And if it's an important task, it's best to put your phone off for 45 minutes, then turn your phone on for 15 minutes to get back to messages, and then turn it back off. So this is something that I do. Emails, I get back to emails usually when I'm idle. And sometimes even then, some emails are very important. So it's best to even have time aside with no distractions at all, just to get back to emails. So this is it. Notifications are your worst enemy when it comes to getting things done faster. So it's vital to make sure you have this time alone. Also, you may be working in a house where you're constantly being called to do things. So being mindful of that, maybe telling people in your house that, listen, I'm doing this, don't call me to do that. All it takes is going downstairs or going out of your room to do something. Next minute, you're doing something completely different and you're going off task. It's very easy to be distracted. This world is full of distractions and it's harder to take action of your life. And this is why you need to be proactive with your life and not reactive to your life. And you have to understand that this energy of reaction is like gravity. It's always pulling you down. Most people are distracted. Most people are not conscious of this mindful energy. So you are more subjected to be distracted by others, not by you. Number 5, rejecting unnecessary offers to keep you away from your task. And this is very similar to removing distractions, but this is more aimed at the people that do take you off task. This can be friends who want to go out to the bar, to this place, to this motive, and things of this nature. And this has happened to me a lot until I started saying no. So many times that people stop asking me out. When people hear no, you have to understand the power of no. People say yes so many times, even though in their heart they really mean no. But if you can vocalize saying no, you don't have to be brazen about it. You can kindly decline offers. And if you do it over a period of time, like I said, people will just stop asking you to go out to events. And just tell people that you're on a mission right now, and people will respect it. So this is it. Over time, you'll make your own vibratory match with people. So I have a few selected friends that are on the same mission as me, and I'll make time with them. And what will happen is, because we're on the same page, the same vibration, we're looking for the same outcome, it then magnetizes our outcome, because this is what we call masterminding, which is mentioned in Think and Grow Rich. So when you value your energy and time, you'll see the magic to this universe. And this is when we start talking about quantum jumping and beating the illusion of time. And number 6 will be focusing your energy on one task. I already mentioned this, but I'll go into depth about the power of focusing on one task. So, esoterically, when you put your energy into one task, you now vibratory match the energy of intent. You now have the ability to raise the vibration of that task you're doing through intention. So, for example, if you're drawing a picture and you're focusing on that one task, as you're drawing out this picture and coloring and adding shade and shadows to it, you're now adding emotion to your art, to your creation. And as you do this, you're now quantum jumping this physical form to a higher outcome of manifestation. And this is the metaphysics to focusing your energy on one task. Because you have to understand there's something called laser focus. And this laser focus is associated with the pineal gland. And if you're able to have this third eye awareness to your intentions, you'll see that you'll receive a greater feedback loop from this illusion we call the matrix. So this is the power of focus. There's been times where I've been making music and I'm so tired, but I'm just focused on getting the task done. And out of the beats I've made in that day, it was funny to see that the song I was producing, whilst I was tired, slipping in and out of different states of consciousness, was the beat that got the most purchases, likes, views, comments, artists going over it and stuff like that because it's being leased out. And I'm thinking, this was the one that I wanted to give up on. And I feel the reason why this happens is because it's linked to these brainwave states, which would be theta and delta. So when you tap into these frequencies with your mind, you're now altering different states of consciousness, tapping into alternate realities, multiple possibilities through visualization and internalization of where you want this to go. And this will be led by the subconscious mind. Theta waves and delta waves are slower frequencies. So these slower frequencies pierces the illusion of this reality, because these are the frequencies you go to when you dream and sleep, especially delta. So you're awake whilst you're producing and being creative, but at the same time, you're asleep. So now you're merging this reality between this 3D reality, which we call the physical plane, and this multi-dimensional reality we go to when we sleep. Numerically, theta waves and delta waves are slower frequencies, but these slower frequencies create openings to retrieve multi-dimensional transmissions. So sometimes you be in autopilot and then you listen to the song the next day or the beat the next day and you're like, how did I do this? Because you was in a trance. So this is the hidden knowledge to focusing on one task, is that you'll just tap into autopilot mode and you can create this magic of a product, idea, or creation. And it's because you're tapping into these higher realms, these higher states of consciousness, where you let go of the outcome. You just do. Then we have the other benefit of focusing on one task, which I said is being able to focus and not take energy away from yourself. And lastly is setting deadlines to your tasks. This is great because it creates a sense of urgency within your mind. There's nothing worse than saying you're going to finish something and you never do, because there's no pressure, there's no resistance. Pressure makes diamonds, but in order to do that, there needs to be some resistance. This is why working in a 9-to-5, you will continually work there, because there's pressure, there's deadlines, there's structure that you have to adhere to. But when it comes to self-improvement or entrepreneurial endeavors, you are now not committed to any deadline unless you put a stamp on it. So it's best to put a deadline on each task and hold yourself accountable and be real with yourself and be true to yourself, which is hard to do because it's very easy for your ego to say, oh, I'm tired today, I don't want to do this. And you may be tired, but if you was working a 9-to-5, there will be many days that you're tired. There'll be many days that you didn't want to go to work. But you have to adhere to it because you signed a contract and you don't want to lose your job. So this comes down to your will. This is why it's not easy to be an entrepreneur or self-improve your life, because it's very easy for your ego to protect you. And if you really want to hold yourself accountable, there's things you can do, such as use apps like Habitica, and there's other apps that make you pay a cost if you miss a deadline. So it's like you're betting against yourself. Using apps like Habitica, where it's gamified, can inspire you to keep on staying on a strict deadline. So this is it, really. It's about manipulation of the mind and tricking your mind, because our minds are habitual. And if you use these kind of tactics to gamify your life and make it a reward to finishing your tasks, this is how you can hack your mind and program your mind to work with you and not against you. So yeah, you don't need to use all 24 hours of the day. Make sure you have a balance, but just use your time wisely. Some people can achieve a lot in 4 hours of straight work with no phone on. And if you think about your workplace, how many hours are you actually doing of work? And how many hours are you just there to collect the check and clock out at the end of the day? You know, some of these jobs you work at, technically you could be finished by 3 p.m. But because they want to adhere to this 9-to-5 structural society, they keep you there longer than you need to be. So this is it, really. Thank you for watching this video. If it's been of any help to you, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you're looking to use any of my services, the link is in the description. I do name readings where I break down your name numerically and etymologically. And I use some other methods to harness the energy that is already inside of you. And I also offer subconscious reprogramming sessions for people that are trying to get rid of this mental spell given to them from the Matrix. And I assist you to create a new program which is destined for the empowerment of yourself. And I also do consultations. So yeah, If you like this video, you know what to do. Peace. Contact me.